Hey guys, how we doing? John Anthony. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the 24-25 NFL season of Bringing Dynamite to the Mind. How's everybody doing? Again, I'm John Anthony. This is a Driving to the Top promotion, also a Sports Coin affiliate. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had an amazing summer. Obviously, I think we're also a little hungover from how the Super Bowl ended, but hopefully we're able to run it back this year and have a better ending than we did last year. So with that being said, I wanted to get into it. I wanted to do an episode real quick before we kicked it off, which is tonight. We are mere hours away from the kickoff. Chiefs, Ravens. I know who we're all rooting for in the Bay today, baby. But it goes down tonight. We kick off the season. Wanted to get on with you guys. Wanted to talk about how we see it breaking down for the entire year in the NFL. I want to give you our breakdowns of the divisions from winners to the wild card, all the way who's making it to the Super Bowl and who's bringing home that chip. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to start with the AFC East. And with this, I'm going to give you who's going to be winning and also going to give you records as well, as that plays into when we get into the playoffs, who's going to be getting wild cards, and also the biggest thing is who's going to be getting draft picks next year in the 2025 draft. So starting with the AFC East, I have the Buffalo Bills bringing it home as a division winner at 10-7. Have the Jets at 9-8, second place. The Dolphins at 9-8 in third place, and the Patriots way back, bringing up the rear at 5-12. Second worst team in the NFL this upcoming season is how I'm predicting it. So the Bills I have winning that division in the AFC East. We go to the AFC North. I have the Ravens winning that division at 12-5. I think they have a banner year. I think getting knocked out in that championship game has put a chip on Lamar's shoulder. I think he's going to be looking to get back to the AFC championship game. We'll talk a little bit about that more when I get into the playoffs. Steelers being consistent. Shout out to Adam. Another 9-8 under Tomlin. Another winning record. Let's see if it's enough for them to get into the playoffs this year. The Cleveland Browns obviously have a great offense. Deshaun Watson looking to ball out this year. I think with their schedule, I think they lose some close ones. They're going to go 9-8. I have the Bengals also going 9-8. I think Joe Burrow is going to do good things this year, but just not great things. And I think with that schedule, I think there's other teams that they face in the AFC. They're just going to kind of pin them down. Also, some of the teams you'll be facing in NFC as well. So with the Ravens winning that division at 12-5, I have the other three bringing up the rear. All at 9-8, all in a three-way tie for second place in the North. With the AFC South, I have the Texans winning this by a couple of games. I have the Houston Texans going 11-6. Then I have the Colts, again, another promising team this year. They started really putting it together at the end of last year. Going to have some good games. Also going to have a couple nail biters that are not going to be able to really pull out in games they should win. I have them going 9-8. The Tennessee Titans took a couple L's as far as their offense, not able to bring a lot of that firepower back. It's hard to replace someone like Derrick Henry. They've done a good job in the backfield also with a couple receivers as well. But I have them going 8-9, unfortunately, this year. And the Jags, they're going to do good, but they're just going to be good, nothing more than that. Still trying to put it all together. Probably think next year you'll start seeing them be more of a wild card contender. But obviously, with that being said, the Texans are going to get that much better next year, so obviously not contending for the division. So I have the Jacksonville Jaguars going 8-9 as well. So out of the South, I have the Texans winning that division at 11-6. Finally, on the AFC West, it's hard for me to bet against this team with anyone in that division. So I have the Chiefs 11-6 winning that division going away. Probably lock it up early on. Nobody even has a winning record. The way I see it, the way I have to see it breaking all down. The Vegas Raiders 8-9, the Chargers 7-10, and the Broncos 4-13. Now I want to say this when I say that record. I'm looking at their schedule. There's a lot of games that they have against teams that are already solid in what they do offensively and defensively. Bo Nix, I think, is going to have some amazing games. He's going to have some amazing stats. Probably top 5 rookie of the year. When all said and done, we end up looking at it when the awards come out. But I just don't think defensively they have enough over there to really put it all together. I think offensively, other teams are going to really put it on them, and Knicks won't be able to really keep up this year with these other teams. So I have the Broncos, unfortunately, bringing up the rear at 4-13. So then we go to the NFC. NFC East. Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I have them at 11-6, winning this division. Up behind them is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I apologize. At 9-8. The Washington Commanders going to make some noise, but not enough. I have them at 7-10. And then the G-Men. Danny Dimes, again, I think he's going to come out strong and kind of falter at the end. And I think it's going to be a mix of the offense around him. And also, I think that defense as well is going to be giving up a lot of points, probably top 5 in points allowed, if I had to predict. Giants bringing up the rear at 5-12 out of the East. So on the NFC East, I have the Eagles winning that division. NFC North, it's going to be close to the top. It's going to be close to the top this year. Detroit Lions, a formidable team that really gave it to the Niners in the playoffs this past postseason. I have them at 11-6. I also have the Green Bay Packers going 11-6. I think Love really puts it all together. They really have a lot of tools around him, and that defense is really, really starting to sew in and really get it together on that side of the ball, secondary and D-line as well, making fits for a lot of quarterbacks that have to go under center looking across from that line. So the Packers and the Lions, I have 11-6 tying in that division. Obviously, we'll talk about that, how that shakes out when the playoffs come around. Under them, I have the Bears. As much as I don't really want to give Caleb Williams a lot of credit here, I think he does enough with his legs, makes it happen offensively. They're able to go 9-8. And then the Falcons, I apologize, the Vikings, they're going to make noise, but I think they need a couple more pieces offensively to really be a threat in that division. So I have the Minnesota Vikings finishing up 6-11, bringing up the rear. So the Packers and Lions are going to tie for the division. We'll talk about in a minute who's going to move on as division winner, who's going to move on as a wild card. NFC South, I got the Dirty Birds. I got the Falcons coming out of this division at 10-7. I think they're going to do some great things. A lot of people, I think, are sleeping on them. A lot of people are talking about the Bucs. The Bucs are going to do great. I have them coming at 9-8, bringing up second place. After that, I have the Saints at 8-9. And then I have the Panthers, unfortunately, for a second straight year, really just being dismal and not doing much in the regular season. They're going to be going 4-13. And then we come to the one division we all care about, guys, the NFC West. The NFC West. It's hard not to look at this schedule biasly, but it really is. If you look at this, even with a judgmental eye, with everyone that we just signed, we got Trent coming back. We got Ayuk, right? Everyone is really good to go. Purdy knows he's playing for a very, very big contract, lucrative deal. His first deal coming off the rookie signing coming out of the draft. I have them going 13-4. When you look at that schedule, when I first looked at it, I honestly looked at it, it was 15-2. And the only two losses I had were when they double back against the Seahawks and they double back against the Cardinals. It's tough to look at that schedule and not tell me you can't see the Niners winning most of those games. If our defense plays the way it did, and I don't like to live in ifs and buts and things like that, but we brought back 90% of this defense. And I don't care about Chase Young. The guy took plays off. I'm glad he's gone. We didn't need him. We drafted well this year. We got some key guys lining up off on the offensive defensive lines that are going to protect Purdy and also give that quarterback fits in the backfield. Bosa is going to be amazing this year. I don't think he starts off soft this year. I think he comes out the gate with the hammer. I think he's probably looking at a very, very close race for Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Bosa is going to be in that discussion at the end of the year. I'll tell you that right now, Jack. So with that being said, I have them 13-4. I'm trying to be realistic. Winning the division, probably wrapping it up early, wrapping up the number one seed very, very early. Probably week 13, week 14. I have the Rams taking second place here, 10-7. And it's funny to watch a lot of other analysts, a lot of other talking heads, NFL Network, a lot of other sites, a lot of things on X, a lot of other people on all these other shows making their picks for division. A lot of people have the Rams winning the NFC West, which is wild to me. I mean, I know they can win a lot of games. They have a very much of a light schedule as well. No, they're not beating out the Niners, baby. That's just wild to me. That's definitely trying to get some fodder online and trying to get some clicks from the Rams Nation, because that's hard for me to see the Niners losing that many games for the Rams to go over. Then I have the Seahawks bringing in third place at 8-9, and then the Cardinals, unfortunately, 7-10. Just not really able to put it together right now on the offensive side of the ball, and defensively, I think they'll keep them in a couple games. But like I said, Arizona just not really able to put a lot of things together. They end up going 7-10. So with that being said, let's wrap this up. So let's talk about the AFC East playoffs, right? The AFC playoffs out of the East, North, South, and West, right? So we have our divisional winners. We have the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Chiefs as your divisional winners. Those are your top four. Your other three are going to be two of them out of one division. Out of the AFC East, I have the Jets and the Dolphins. Again, remember, they tied for 9-8. I think the structure, record-wise, in that structure, they're going to end up getting tiebreakers. They're going to take the fifth and sixth spot, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to eke out also at 9-8, and they're going to take the third wild card spot. So we have the Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Jets, Dolphins, and Steelers, right? So with that being said, we go to the NFC. So the NFC playoffs, you have the Eagles, the Packers, the Falcons, and the Niners. Out of that wild card, remember I told you I had the Lions and the Packers tying in that division. I think the Packers are going to win the division. The Lions are going to be your first seed wild card, right? And then after that, you have the Cowboys and you'll have the Rams. I'm sorry, you'll have the Rams and the Cowboys. I apologize for going by record. So the Rams and the Cowboys will sneak in with that third wild card record. So those are all going to play out. Those teams end up playing. Everyone, when all the smoke is cleared, all the dust is settled from wild card weekend, division weekend, we're going to go to the AFC and the NFC championship games. In the AFC, taking a look, I see the Chiefs and the Ravens run it all the way back to the AFC championship for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to play out a little differently this year, guys. I really think that the Ravens put it together, finally get that extra nudge. Finally, Lamar finally gets the chip off his shoulder, gets to the Super Bowl, puts down the Chiefs, and represents the AFC this upcoming year in the Super Bowl. Now, on the flip side of that, you have the NFC. One half of that matchup is going to be the same. I think the Niners run roughshod as the number one seed. All roads go through the Bay, baby. All roads go through Levi Stadium. We end up going to that championship game. And looking across from us on the other side of that field is going to be none other than the new and improved, a team that we've whooped the field with time in and time out when Mr. Aaron Rodgers was on the other side. I think it's going to be a new regime, a new rivalry renewed, but the same result is going to happen, guys. I think Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers is your NFC championship matchup. It's going to be close. I'm not saying it's going to be by 2 or 3 touchdowns as a win. It's going to be close, probably by 7 or 10 points. The Niners win this one going away. The defense puts the hammer down in the fourth quarter. They will represent the NFC once again, running it back to the Super Bowl. So now we look to Vegas. We look to the Super Bowl. Who do we have? Well, we have the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. These past couple of years, the Niners being in the Super Bowl have mirrored old rivalries and old ghosts coming back to haunt the San Francisco 49ers. They couldn't do it last year against the Chiefs, but I think they start this year, and they finally put that Baltimore loss behind them back from 2007. They put that behind them. And the Niners rise up and raise that trophy, take that Lombardi and raise it up, baby. When it's quadruple zeros across the board, the confetti's coming down, it's going to say World Champions San Francisco 49ers, baby. That's how I see it going down. Very excited. I think it's going to be an amazing NFL season, guys. A lot of this is going to come true. Maybe, maybe not. But I think the players that I have going to the playoffs, no matter how we shake it, whether it's through the wild card or divisionally, I think that's really what you have, the meat and potatoes of who's going to end up making it to the playoffs. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Niners, and the Packers end up being the 4 teams that fight for the right to go to the Super Bowl this year. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our inaugural show. We're going to try to put out a show at least once a week, right? We'll get out there at least once a week. We'll talk about the games, go over the more wins than losses, obviously, talk about the upcoming matchups. And then what we'll do is we'll also go ahead and talk about some of the other matchups in the NFC, obviously pertaining to the West as well. Also take a look at the AFC as well. So, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please bring Dynamite to the Mind. Shoot us a subscribe. Shoot us a like. Hit that bell to get notifications when we have weekly shows. Also, if you haven't joined my other podcast, please I apologize. Also, catch us over on Chairshot Sports. Shoot us a follow over there on YouTube as well. If you're not following us on socials, it's all at Chairshot Sports. Over on Twitter, join the 16,000 strong there. Follow us over at Chairshot Sports. And also follow us at Bringing Dynamite to the Mind as well on X as well. So, guys, again, John Anthony for Bringing Dynamite to the Mind, a Driver to the Top Productions, and a Sport Coin affiliate. We appreciate you guys. We will talk to you soon. And let's stay